I have a question. Have you guys seen Laura's Pecha Kucha? Did you talk about it at all? Because
Yeah.
I missed the first 15 minutes. I'm sorry.
Normally there are two planned now. Esra, you
Mhm.
plan to do it. So what we can do is
I
now
have a
I have Laura's ready. I can share the screen and we can watch it, or we can start with you, Esra, as you want.
Maybe what we can do is we play Laura's, we discuss, and
Okay.
then you can do like a
it's a
rehearsal
record.
with us.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Laura's has been recorded.
Okay, so you have it.
Hello, I'm Laura Raborn, a visual artist from Little Rock, Arkansas. Thanks for joining me for my Pecha Kucha, made for the very private gallery art coaching group. I grew up in Little Rock for the most part after moving around a lot when my dad was in the Navy. Then I went to college in Florida and minored in art. I was told I had to be a doctor or a lawyer, so I'm afraid I became a bit of a black sheep in the family when instead of med school or law school, I worked in advertising and marketing and dedicated much of my time to ceramics. During that time, I also married and had 2 daughters. Then I hurt my arm doing too much pottery and I switched back to drawing and painting. At this point, I was in my late 30s and decided to attend grad school, which took 5 years to finish while selling commission paintings, seen here in the upper left, working as a teaching assistant, and raising children. My focus in grad school was figurative painting, exploring missing information and our perceptions of each other. I continued narrative figurative painting until in 2016, the US presidential election. There was a big shift in my work. This slide shows a tiny fraction of the number of pieces that I used to process and try to understand the language and cultural shifts happening so quickly and detrimentally in the US. But that work, while it is at times satisfying, is hard and exhausting. Eventually, my studio time divided between figurative painting and mixed media political pieces, back and forth, back and forth. On the right, there are a couple of pieces from an exhibit titled Museum Moments, as well as an example of looking closely at things around the house during COVID. On the left, there are a few political pieces, like Red, White, and Blue, which explores my effort to tie formal elements and composition to a specific concept, as we can see the word blue falling off the bottom of the piece. And here the work is evolving in an effort to merge the figurative work with the political and social work. For example, A Real Prize. It explores our perception of women and the impact of words we use to describe each other. Here we've got more exploring what materials to present the female figure and how subtle language should or shouldn't be. For example, equal pay is on the computer screen behind the woman, and a little pink sticky note says 81 cents on the dollar. This is more subtle than some previous pieces that address social and political issues. The use of language in the female body continue as I'm exploring sexism and systems of control over women's bodies at the very private gallery Residency in Madrid. I used women's magazines, still an influential mass communication tool, as a compositional template to present the effects and sometimes solutions around sexist systems and behaviors. And then the most current work. Like the previous slide with the Real Prize piece, I continue to combine my love of using traditional materials and subjects, like the flowers here in the middle, to present challenging language in a palpable way. In some cases, poking fun, saying things out loud that as a woman I'm not supposed to say, can be cathartic and can connect me with others who have shared experiences. Over the years, since that teaching assistant job at the university, I've been teaching classes, workshops, and travel art retreats. Teaching and lecturing is vital to my practice and career and is a powerful way of sharing, connecting, learning, and growing. In conclusion, my life as an artist and the artwork I make is heavily influenced by being a woman and having daughters, living in a religious traditional U.S. state, personal experience with sexist comments and practices, rise of authoritarianism and conservative legislation that controls and harms women's bodies, and studying scholars who write about gender norms and sexism. No matter what materials I use, these are driving forces behind most of the work I make. Recently, I've looked back at the bodies of work, noticing patterns and threads that continue to appear. Perhaps with curatorial assistance, I can organize the pieces into a provocative exhibit. Culturally speaking, the time might be now.
That was great, Laura. It's big improvement.
Good.
Oh, thank you, Anna. Thank y'all for your feedback. It took me like 3 months to apply it. Thank you. What about any more feedback, like parts that were unclear or should be left out or anything like that?
I think it's really good. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
a clear story. You know,
Oh,
you know, it's probably simplifying, but it really shows like how your life has influenced your work, and your work has changed, but it's a clear story of how a feminist artist can approach their work. I liked it a lot.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, last time I tried to throw in just so much more stuff, and editing can be hard.
Yeah, I think it's simplified and it's more clear. Like I remember before you had mentioned extensive family members and had a little window where the picture would like fly in the picture. So it's like that would be more like busy. I love the work. There are some new works that you put that I think you didn't show to us before. So the work like the snowy mountain on fire, the Are You Told to Be Quiet, that one is beautiful. And I like the contrast, the color. You know, I only wish the screen is bigger so I can see more, but it was picture in picture, of course. Like I wish I could like enlarge and see the details because it's really engaging.
Thanks. The work in Madrid at the residency, it seemed like the residency went so quickly, and like I was working with Greg regularly and thinking through so much and learning so much that it has taken me a full, like the last year, because I did the residency a year ago. It's hard to believe that it's been that long, but, and it's kind of like all settling in now and kind of percolating and filtering and getting a little bit clearer how I want to use it and what materials to use and why and those things. So kind of the recent work I don't think would happen without the work that happened at the residency, even though I was kind of feeling meh about the residency, some of the residency work. So it was really kind of pivotal point, and I think is leading to good things. So I'm excited about the newer work. Thank you. Thanks for listening again.
One thing is you are giving a lot of you are insisting on the residency in the Pecha Kucha, and if it's a more general Pecha Kucha, you don't have to tell about us. Is totally okay. But thank you. And the thing is that you are the only one insisting on that. So this is good. But in the same way, if you want to approach like because this is an object, you are making a media that will be shared with the community and others, and some galleries or some of your future clients, maybe they won't appreciate, like you mentioned, to be in a because we are underdogs. We are not in the system, so it depends on which system you're trying to.
Thinking about the audience. Thank you.
I would say let's say if we publish it in our site or make like a small album of different Pecha Kucha on our side, that makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
Because it shows the connection with us. But then I would say if she does make one for, let's say, her own YouTube or Instagram, it would also make sense to do another version. But if she does make another version, I would imagine that, first of all, it'll be vertical screen for if it is Instagram. So it'll be the layout will change completely. Or you show your face on top or on the bottom of a horizontal screen. So you have your face, and then here you have, the screen, the slides. So you can do a recording, most concentrating on self-promotion. with slideshows and showing yourself. If you show it on social media, you must show your face. Otherwise, the
Oh,
engagement will be less. So
Yeah,
Okay.
TikTok kind of.
yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
yeah, you can
Yes.
change it to vertical easily. I think with like Photoshop or something. I think, or like even PowerPoint, they do vertical PowerPoint. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I've never used. Okay,
I
I'm
think so.
sure. Yeah, there are ways. There are creative ways to fit.
But for us,
Well,
it's okay. I mean, on
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good.
for us
Thank
to
you.
publish, it's okay. It's really good.
Yeah, it's good.
It's
Yeah.
been really good practice just to make it for y'all, to force us to think about what do I want to share and what and why and
Yeah.
like what's my story and is it like how can that story be edited to best serve the purpose of my art making and to just be more thoughtful about that instead of just loosey goosey, but then to also have it as a media piece to use or to publish somewhere. So thank you for that feedback about kind of thinking about what it's for and then adapting it for that
I feel it's
purpose.
even possible to put it on your own website. I don't know, like in terms of load speed, because
Mhm.
you know, if there's like audio and slide and put it like on your website, it's not a bad thing, even if you don't show your face, because website is more distanced, more professional.
Uh-huh.
But if
Yeah.
on social media, you need to show your face. Otherwise, today TikTok, if you don't show your face, 3 seconds, people won't listen. They will just scroll, doom scrolling. So
Yeah, yeah.
You upload it on YouTube and then you embed YouTube on your website.
Thank you. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, on your bio page would be good.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's a great idea. Thank you.
Because you want people to stay longer on your site, the longest possible, to, you know, have a better personal connection. So you want to kind of stay. So hey.
I know I've been thinking about that with Instagram and promoting these workshops and stuff, like how to get people to good cooks and how to get people to stay. And, you know, there's just so much advice out there about content creators. I'm like, ugh, what am I doing? This is not what I want to learn about really, but it has been really interesting to see like what are people interested in and how do people respond and attention span and kind of connecting with an audience that is seeking something that I offer and how to best communicate that. And so there's a lot about social media I don't really like, but there's some things I do like about it. I've met some amazing artists and so I've liked it for some reasons. And we've got 2 artists coming to visit me, 2 collectors from from San Francisco and next week, and 2 artists from Orlando. And we're doing like this tour thing of Arkansas. And they're coming and staying with me on Wednesday, and then we start touring around. And I also want to share the 2 artists' links with y'all. I think you would really like their work a lot for various reasons. Is there a place, like, should I share it in a chat or should I share it on the...
Yeah.
Send a message.
Just share. Yeah. You can
can
share
send
it
a
here.
message.
You can also send a message. What they are here just next week. No, I mean they can also join the meeting if next time we meet.
Oh yeah. No, they're just here next week. I mean, we could invite them to join a meeting sometime,
Yeah, definitely.
especially if you look at their work and you're like, oh, that would be interesting. Then I'd be happy to invite them to join a meeting. They both are kind of at the level of really showing in museums now. So they're both doing really well. And they're just wonderful people. So I think that you all would enjoy them. Let's see, where is the chat? I'll put there.
So
Thank
next
you
is
for
Pecha
listening.
Kucha.
Isra, you want to try? Just
Yeah,
practice
I will
rehearse.
try, so at least I have some good feedback, because I think I don't understand concept of Pecha Kucha very well, but I will try. Okay, so I'm starting. Should I check the time?
I will do it.
Okay. So did you start it?
So, yeah, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so I'll talk about my practice and my relationship with languages. So in everything in my work starts with a very simple feeling that the language doesn't feel easy on me, like it doesn't feel very natural. It's like something I move through effort. And I don't know if it's like, since I'm a child, I'm having these problems, but maybe being like linguistically displaced doesn't help. And I move between languages and between cultures and between expectations. And I feel like each time something got lost in translation. 1 second, how am I gonna move the page? So I stop thinking, like stop seeing that linguistic displacement as a problem, but it is just a gap that I have to deal with. And I try to approach in different opportunities of communication. The language we perceive like as a very abstract concept, but indeed it is very bodily experience. Like we pass through language, the body, and the way we learn language is also through other bodies. And we learn through repetitions, mistakes, corrections, and when we pass that language to another person. And in the language, I'm interested in more than the meaning, the systems of syntaxes. And my background is in architecture, so I like to approach language as something to be dismantled, recomposing, and to see in different elements in the, like basically approaching as a structurally to the language. And this kind of approach, like before even architecture, this bodily experience was already exist in my life through another practice that I learned from my mom, which was like embroidery. And in a way, it is like, it resonates at least in my head so much that it is very bodily practice, and you learn very similarly the way you learn languages. It passes through the body, it passes through the repetition. You learn and then you teach someone else. It's like mother to daughter usually. And my mom is a socialist feminist, and she was like very, very into crafts. And when I was growing up, I had to witness that even in the politically aware environments, like her intellect was a bit like overlooked due to her interest in craft. So it's like very early on in life, I realized that female intellect can be, and female labor can be easily overlooked. That like the resonance between language and the embroidery and sewing later in life continued with the feminist readings, and this is a work from Maria Lai, but especially there is this book, sorry Greg, I will butcher her name, Hélène Sixus. She wrote about feminine écriture, writing feminine. But I will butcher also her ideas, but like I will say what I understand from her writings. That basically she says like every woman should write herself, and she says, it's a famous quote, like for me, writing from the body means from difference, not within a language that has already erased you. So that's like what I understand from that quote is like there's always other ways to researching for the woman to writing. Maybe, I don't know, I'm taking it as a bit like literally of writing through sewing, but I think it's like sewing, embroidery, or like that type of practice is a form of thinking and writing. So my current practice moves between digital drawings and textile process, and digital space offers precision, control, and speed. And hand embroidery is like exact opposite. It's slow, very imperfect, and it is very bodily. I translate vector-based digital forms into thread, not to like replicate exactly, but to interrupt in a way. And I like discovering things on the way. And today, language is expected to be like very clear. There's no room for ambiguity. It is expected to be very fast. And in my work, I'm trying to resist that. And this is like, especially very recently, I've started to interest in community projects because since I'm still practicing as an architect, like I'm very team player. But I like also having some strong ideas and like leading the teams. So I'm interested in community projects that I can lead people, but we produce and explore the options of co-authorships and like questioning the authorships and writing together and teaching together. So also there's say hi to strangers, or like saying hi is a very repeated theme in my work. Because it's like it is very easy, but it is very fragile at the same time. It can fail. It can be very uncomfortable, and I like that playing with that boundaries. Also, like being as an immigrant woman, always dealing with different languages. Sometimes, like putting effort to saying hi in another language is like such a big political gesture. So I kind of encourage people to do that. And that's it.
8 minutes.
Oh, okay, you didn't say anything. So I was
Yeah.
thinking
No,
like it's just
good.
4 minutes. Sorry.
8 minutes is pretty good already. I mean,
Yeah.
it's first time rehearsal. So, and also there's actually in the middle, there's a technical thing. If you cut that, it will be 7 minutes. So you're not that far from the 5 minute. So.
The ideas are so interesting, Esra. I love what you're exploring. You'll just have to mold it so it's a little clearer story, but also visually, I love the fact of these little schematic drawings you're showing, and then also the photographs of actual work, like hands in there and things. So visually, it's very cohesive already. So it just needs to be, you know, a little simpler for, depending on who you're trying to reach, not simpler if you're trying to reach a bunch of, academics. So, but yeah, it's a really interesting story, like coming from your history. I mean, you never said, I'm from Turkey, so you might say that, you might say, I'm from Turkey, I live in Italy, and I speak this many languages, make it a little more personal, just so people can, oh, that's what she's talking about,
I agree with Anna, like the context, just a little bit more personal context helps me really land in there with you. And I was sorry when you said it was over and Greg said it was 8 minutes, because I thought it went really quickly too. Even from the listener's perspective, I was surprised it was 8. And I wanted more information about the body, and like you said something about that you do digital drawings and then textile work, and that the embroidery kind of is bodily. And I thought, oh, I want to hear what you mean by that, a little bit more about that, and then and see what you mean, and seeing the pictures, like Anna said, of your hands with the pieces felt kind of like it would fit into that. How is this craft representing something from the body and the body's experience? And like, I really, really am interested in that, and appreciate you sharing that and doing that work. And then when you put high is divine, I love that. I just really love that. That was so moving, and allows your listener to think about that. Like, what does that mean? What does that mean to me?
Mhm.
And so hearing more about that, of course, these are all ideas to make it longer. So sorry, but it was great.
Oh, cool. Cool. I'm happy that you guys enjoyed.
Yeah, visually there are 1 or 2 slides that are very similar with a table and people around. I think you want to, maybe there's a story you want to tell there or a graduation, but it seems like it's the same. From
The
the
one
external.
project I did in Cancerat, and then I started being part of a collective there, and there we were physically be able to produce together. Now we are separately trying to produce something. We get a commission from Swab Art Fair. So that was like the concept development of the same collective attitude, but that's community projects I'm just discovering. But I'm so excited lately because I get the sewing machine, but I use a freehand, and it's lots of technical learning. It's like I can. It is a bit true that I need to give some context, but giving like autobiographical facts about me or general knowing autobiographical context of artists is the part that I don't enjoy, and it's like a bit hard to really express, but I will think about how can I do that creatively.
I think you can say that you don't enjoy talking just about me, because you can say that your spirit is in the collective work, and then you just say the minimum about yourself, and you say, I don't want to, talk too much about myself because it's about the collective work. So the idea, so then you kind of,
it's just like a bit oversimplification, and people, it's exactly that reasons we need to give, and people can maybe put you in a box, but it is like my relationship with migrating around the world is like a bit too complex that I cannot basically say I'm Turkish and I moved to Italy. And it's like when you spend like so much of thinking something, that's exactly you cannot express easily. Like, but I will think about it.
Maybe you could think about how does that influence my work, and then say that, like all in one sentence. Like, because I'm originally from Turkey and now live in Italy and have moved a lot through my life, I am interested in blank. So you're really getting to like the work.
In my head, it was clear already when I said like that this linguistic displacement activates my work, but it requires a bit more context.
At least which languages that you speak. I think I agree with Anna, like you don't have to say, what is your passport or what is your favorite country in the world, but at least because it's linguistically linked to your work. So it's also a part of the project. If you're native to Chinese or if you're native to Turkish, your work will be completely different. Then it makes sense to present it as a part of the project.
In personal psychology, because there's one thing. So when we say people are from China or people are from Turkey, from the West, we have a tendency just everybody is the same bag, and you are not from the capital. You are from a small place with a different culture, different story. And in personal psychology and in storytelling, because it goes together, you might find something when you were young, you had the memory of it and maybe you forgot about it, and maybe something that triggered, even if it's very thin thread, that reunites your passion to threading or to writing or to architecture, because it's all the same. It's about construction and deconstruction, and it's linked with philosophy and contemporary art. But maybe there's something you could tell about specifically this little place that has a link with writing that no other place in Turkey has. or with threading. Maybe there's something and you don't know. Maybe you lost it, maybe you have it, but maybe this is the simple thing, because when in storytelling, when you say something, okay, I don't know, you tell, okay, I would say I'm French, I'm from Paris, which is not the case, but then I would tell, I am from a small village near, the name is the small village near Nice in south of France, and there's a small relation with the King François Ier, who was looking for immortality and alchemy and all these things, and I know it's a place for art, and even if it's complex, people will be interested in the poetry of names. If you say Istanbul or this, it's just like okay, the same pasta all over again. But if you have the poetry of a name, the link with your personal story, people, they will dig, and the complexity will be at your service in the story.
Yes, but that's like I was super intentionally avoid to do that. Like I read also Journey of the Hero. Like we can, each of us can fit our stories into perfectly crafted, like storytelling, easy to digest way. But it is really, really so not real in my life. That small city has nothing to do.
Okay, but maybe you are rejecting. You are rejecting it.
Yeah, I was like maybe I can justify something to do with that, like why I start my relationship with art starts super late compared to many artists. I was like such a engineering mindset person, and after 25, like really I think it is really activated my, like, the linguistic expressions that I couldn't deliver. I did channelized all that energy to art. But maybe I can
say that. That was
I
good.
can explain why it's not a narrative.
But your relationship to craft started when you were little, because you saw your mom like doing the crafts with her friends, or, so that maybe you could just even like put one photo, just very quick of showing your mom, with a group of friends.
By the way, I asked my mom if we have any photo that she's teaching me something. Like if I was back home, I would do more emotionally triggering Pecha Kucha. I'm so far away from the physical albums. But yeah, there is like I'm also planning to add, because that's the only story-worthy and real things. Like I agree, by the way, I think we need to strategically explain our choices, because we do so many choices and there's some repetition, and not everything is equally important, and a bit of storytelling is really important, but it needs to be also a bit like the core reasons, like what you do, why you do. So yeah, I think that relationship with my mom is the correct direction.
I'm sorry, I have to go. I just want to tell you one quick little story about living in Turkey. So I lived in Turkey twice, and then I was going to go back for another year, and I knew it was really hard to make friends. I wanted to make women friends, and so I used knitting to do that. And I don't knit now, but that year in Turkey, I just knit a lot, and it totally worked. It was so weird, like you get in with a group of women, and I didn't speak Turkish, but then if I was knitting, then I had this connection with them, and it was so interesting that made me think of it. But I'm sorry, I have to go. I have a thing I have to do. So, but anyway, nice to see you all.
Sure.
Thank you.
Hi, Anna.
Hear both of your stories. They were really great.
Thank
See you
you.
later.
Did
Yeah,
Anna
I
do a
want-
Pecha Kucha and I've missed it?
No, I think she never did.
Okay.
Never did. But I would like to hear the update version of the mini golf, and her residency, and she's now acquiring some property in her neighborhood. I don't know, if that is going to turn into some art project as well. Yeah, there are actually a lot of quite interesting things going on. We can hear about. Yeah. I want to ask Esra a question regarding your project when you created basically a new language, let's say alphabetic language, which you use. Well, the alphabetic language already means that you are European. You're
Yes,
not
it's
Chinese,
substitution.
because
It's not
yeah,
invention.
I mean,
It's just a substitution of
it's
Latin
substitution of
letters.
letters. That's very European, because this level of abstraction we Chinese don't have. So
I have to think in some language at the end.
yeah, well, Chinese
I
would
need
be
the
much
language to think
harder.
about languages.
Yeah, actually, I was thinking, like, because I saw you do this, and I was thinking in my head, if I were you, what language would, because I'm different built. So my native default language, the hardware, the software is all different. So I was thinking, if I were to create a new language, what would it be with textile? So I was thinking to use knots on the textile, and each knot, like either you do a cross or you do like just a ball of hair, like of textile, and it's like a braille, like for blind people, and they'll be touching the little dots, and the dots, I will be just copying a braille language, like Chinese braille or something, and then instead of punching holes, it will be on a textile. So I was imagining, so, but your approach, of course, is more European with alphabetic abstraction. And my question is, when you have a message about women making art, and also the fact that it's anti-technology, that is, you do it by hand, it could have been very well a brother, the brother, 16,
Yeah, it's not Singer,
16 color brother, the machine that you can do with a computer in a second, and then it just does automatically. So the fact that you didn't use automation, you use manuality, and there's is already a statement to it. But when you write something, do you normally write, for example, I don't know, the Declaration of Human Rights with your letter written in a book? I don't know. Like, have you done a project like that actually has discourse, has a linguistic discourse?
Linguistic content.
Yeah, like it's a language, so it says some word, right? So the word says what?
Yes. I do some letters, but with the substitution, because like there are multiple complexities about it. Like I'm working on a pictogrammic language design with Alessandro. I had to teach myself how pictograms are different than letters. But at the end, either I need to rely on numbers, or because I'm using a MacBook and there is already letters, so coding a letter with, like, I need to code or some level of substitute to express what I need to visually see on the screen. So like so far I did a few video projects. Like I'm writing in English, but I cannot read what I write. I'm seeing the substitution letters, and I really enjoy that threshold between meaning and image and language. So, and what was the other question? Yeah, textile. I don't agree. Textile is anti-technology. Textile is the oldest technology, one of the oldest technologies human, mostly women, invented, and it is a sort of technology, even if you do hand embroidery. And I'm not anti-technology at all. I use so much advanced technologies to do drawings and in my day job practice, which I kind of translate my day job. Like I am taking advantage of the technologies can offer me. I think without that, it would be so difficult to do video projects. I don't use AI.
So.
But AI is not that needed for that.
Okay. But you are not reacting negatively to AI. Using AI is just it has no point to use it. You are not like anti-AI.
No, because it's like I'm doing simple coding that AI is not needed, basically.
Can do it.
No, I mean I'm not using like maybe I don't know how to incorporate AI efficiently. But I'm happy with the but like AI, like Grammarly was already this form of AI. In some programs I'm using, they have their, like Photoshop integrate AI
Yes.
so well. But am I using AI? No, I'm using Photoshop, but Photoshop use AI, so it is like really hard.
It's hard to avoid it today if you use a normal workflow.
Yeah.
But when you said you write something and it turns into a coding, but what exactly are you writing? You write, today I ate a sandwich, or you write the Declaration of Human Rights. The content which you write.
Not declaration of human right, but some exhaustion and feelings. And yeah, I express my exhaustion, and I enjoy that people cannot decode what I write.
It's more a philosophy of it's more contemporary art to what you are into.
Yes.
Like questioning and
expression.
Laura is more like modern art in a way, like the painting and the putting yourself in the painting, and you're more like in the contemporary art box. So it's very difficult to have a selling object in contemporary art. It's more, you're more targeting museums or culture.
Yes. I mean, yeah, even selling video license, like I don't know anything about that yet. And yeah, I don't have any regular collectors yet. But I don't know. I feel like my works are getting more meaningful day by day, especially like that video projects or the community projects. I feel like all that alphabet starts, like they were just alphabets. Now it becomes a viewer's experience. Now it's a real experience. People can like there's more word building around it, but it's hard to explain.
You know the Voynich text? It's a book that was written in the past, long time ago, and nobody was able to translate it.
Wait,
I forgot exactly.
Wait. The German
Voynich Manuscript.
Yes, I read that book. Alessandro sent me. That's insane. That guy is insane, unbelievable. And the researchers dedicated their life to this guy. Also, unbelievable work.
But AI is used to try to find because it's statistics machine, and language and statistic goes very well together, and but
now I'm scared. Maybe AI can decode my. If it tries, it would be so easily, because I'm telling I substitute with Latin letters, and there are like 28 letters, so just permutation. Oh my God! If people can discover some mean comments about
do you try to make a font, like one letter, and you create the font with
exactly.
Is one-to-one, so you create the font, and this is not really a translation, because
that's why in pictograms is also very difficult, because I find out very recently that you need so much more characters, like at least 500. So it's very difficult. That's why I will maybe go with numbers. Even on the digital file I'm working with Alessandro, it is already hard to, if you don't visually memorize what characters you invent. Actually, it is such that's why I don't want to call this like inventing a language. It's just two artists plays and dialogue, and I want to focus on that, because this is the most unnatural way to approach language. Like you don't invent language, like it happens to
language is not natural, trust me. I'm Chinese. Language is not natural.
You know Tolkien, and he invented the alphabets. Tolkien, the Lord of the Rings. Yeah, but he made the writing language of the elves and the dwarves. And,
but also Game of Thrones, they did Khaleesi's region.
Yeah,
it is speakable. It's very nice.
Yeah, and people
but
have
I
difficulty.
think they have like whole writer's room studying it for years.
Yeah, but people learned it, and it's funny. There's the I wanted to share with
Yeah,
you. There's
geeks.
this textile curator. So I don't know if you know her, Ellen Allen, I think. She's gathering textile artists, and you
Oh.
pay a commission of £55.
Mhm.
And you're in a directory, and she made a book of 50 artists. I found her because of the article of textile.
Artsy, no, the famous art statistics magazine
No.
did a textile essay a few days ago, by the way, before us.
Okay. Okay, but we'll beat them. No problem. So textile curator, she published a book of 50 interviews, and the interviews are like why you are doing textile, which school you did, why you think textile is interesting, like very basic. And the website is gathering more like from what I think, there are two kinds of textile artists. There's the one contemporary art, and they have no place. They really have no place in galleries, and they are so high in the culture. Like some know them, or they're in the Nice Biennale and things like that. And then they have modern artists like doing beautiful, sensitive piece of textile that are that she's listing. I think she's listing more of these people, and maybe there are some artists they do both, but I think you will have this difficulty of trying to work with galleries, or it's like the work of Alessandro, like it's very good in the conceptual idea, but I think it will have a very difficult way to sell what he's doing. It's more like the research, the questioning.
He has so much paperwork. Yeah, but also my work is research
It's very
driven, material led. It is called like that in the contemporary art world. I am research driven, material led artist.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this, but this is something that is not in your Pecha Kucha.
Oh, okay.
I don't know which word to tell, but how to. There is something like you are in the most philosophical tradition of art. This you are post Duchamp guy, and that's not a compliment. I'm kidding.
Well,
yeah,
Greg, I remember you talking to me during the residency about vehicles for your work, like thinking outside the box, like what Ezra's making, what could it turn into? Like what else could it turn into? What could be the package or the way to present it? And you really helped me brainstorm a different way of thinking. Like we talked about paste ups, and we talked about little pamphlets and booklets and stickers that you hang on around town, and with Ezra and with language, I just wonder if there's something that could be created to hold the work that I'm not sure what I'm saying, like a dictionary, but it's completely like a book. It's a dictionary, but it's.
Yes. I think the way you would be more with a book, the way you would be, you would find your audience would be more with a book and the community, the people you are linking to. And
But then
you're
she's got
working
the
with them.
video, with the videos
Yeah.
though, I guess it depends on what you wanted to include, because the videos wouldn't go in a book, of course, I guess.
Where can we see these videos? Your website?
Yes, I did a long video project that was like shortlisted in a very big museum competition in Turkey, but then they didn't select.
Oh,
Yes, I'm a bit upset because the theme was like threshold. I think it was really relevant. So this is the video works I'm doing.
Greg, can you
Yeah.
please remind me, are we able to see the chat links after
Yes.
the call?
Every time I'm publishing them on the forum.
Okay,
Every
thank you.
link. So you have all
Thank
the history here and every link.
I thought so. Thank you.
It's a very private.org.
Okay.
Okay, it's like a type machine that is typing letters that you've created.
Yeah, it's me typing and I did a bit sound manipulation.
And
I exaggerate the
what is the content?
like I have the whole text now. I don't remember, but it is like a personal letter that's expression of this linguistic displacement.
And I was thinking as a video, there is only the person typing sound, the typing sound, and I guess it's also the typing sound is not real. No, it's artificial.
No, it's real. It is.
It's real.
I
It's you
recorded
typing.
while I was typing.
Okay.
I want it feels like so real. It's just like meaning is not there.
Yeah.
I was thinking if you would say things, like if you would say it like a voiceover, either is exactly what you type or different. But depending on what you're writing, then I was thinking maybe that would be giving more dips.
I'll think about it.
Because now it's just typing sound. It's not adding more information because I would assume someone typing would have a typing sound.
Yeah.
I don't know what, but there is a dimension that you can add that is audiovisual project. There's video, there's visual, but audio part is right now raw, like it's not processed. It's
I have a question.
Yeah.
Why you try to make something that is not readable while people who today they have a language, similar language, and they cannot communicate. So I think there's an absurdity in what you are doing. It's something very absurd that people are lost even in the same language.
Yeah, exactly. That's I start thinking about that after I made this. Like, anyways, like there's no need for linguistic differences to not being able to understand each other. We experience different realities. People are literally can use same arguments to fight against because
maybe you want to show that.
I don't know what was this like really like sometimes I just want people to not understand text. I cannot be always the one losing in this language game. Like I want other people to experience this, like how it feels like when you have to deal with a text that you don't understand, you have to act like you understand. I just make
It's a good sentence.
Yeah, it comes from an experienced design first.
Yeah.
And the title is I Cannot What I Wrote.
I cannot read what I wrote because that's also like
no, I cannot what I wrote. There's no
I
reading there.
It's even better.
I cannot what I wrote. Look,
okay,
I cannot what I wrote.
Update that.
Yeah, but in the URL I see I cannot read what I wrote. Yeah, but basically, yeah. I was feeling that if depending on where you want the project to go, if it's competitive, as let's say you want it to enter museums or a prize or award, there needs to be a way easier access for them to understand what you're trying to do, what you're trying to tell, or there is a twist. Sometimes a twist is very cliche, but very effective. I remembered when I was in college, I did a small competition with, in my class, there are only like 2 person entered the competition. It's a short film, 1 minute film. You need to do it in 1 day. You have 24 hours to produce 1 minute short film. And I went with the Beijing Opera singer who never had a chance to sing. She was the backup. She was just on the side of the stage waiting. If something goes wrong with the main actress, she would go. And if not, she would just be passing like extra. So that was like about the boredom, about the patience, about the wait. Like in life, there's, you put on the cold bench to wait many opportunities. So that was my idea, but it was too subtle. It was visual, so it was included in the unit. It was like nominated, let's say. But the person who won is my friend, who is also from my class. His father is a very crazy artist. Instead of calligraphy, writing with brush, he wrote with a syringe. And he, as a 70-year-old artist doing that, it was 20 years ago he did that. And it was the first time someone wrote calligraphy with a syringe in China, with ink inside syringe and injecting onto the white paper like a performance, right? So his father is a crazy artist and he himself is very creative. So what he did is he got in the Hutong, in the antique in front of the Forbidden City, an old guy sitting on a bench. Like I think he had my idea of sitting on the bench. And then in the end of the 1 minute, the guy was just sitting there like nothing happens. The guy left the bench. The moment the guy left, a young guy came and kicked the bench away, like destruction, like completely new person disrupting the old. And that was the sudden change. And it was, of course, very symbolic and almost cliche. But his short film was, winning the, let's say, one of the many awards. So he went to receive the award. And yeah, it was interesting because the difference, the idea between mine and his was that mine was very plain. It was not dramatic enough.
It's the state, like in my work, it's the state. It explains the state. It doesn't have any story. It has the beginning,
but then you need to explain the state.
Maybe
right?
Not in contemporary art.
Okay, not in contemporary art, but I mean that if you are a famous artist, you just sit on a table with your ex holding hands, you would make into a headline, okay?
No.
Yes?
No, she did many things before that. So
yeah, I say if you're a famous artist, you just need to hold hands with your ex. Whatever you do, that's my point. So if you're not, then you need a breakthrough. You need to first having a catchy idea where people associate you with a catchy idea which can be explained in 1 minute.
I don't agree because it's not the same as modern art is. In contemporary art, even if you are confusing with your content, if you're confused or confusing people, it's not an ingredient of success or the questioning and the contact, the network you have, and the backup from others, like in academy or things like that, is more important than the actual clarity of what you're doing. If you ask, like the contemporary art is really philosophy, so it's really putting a question out and let people wonder, and it's that. So if you do that, not educated people, they just pass on the side of it and they don't think it's interesting. And the people with a certain education, they appreciate, and like a good wine or something, or like a good cheese, you need education to appreciate is, appreciation is then it works. But the problem then is what Esra I think doesn't have is the network around. Maybe now with Residency and also Alessandro, there's more network and then it's coming to, but it's not the key, the clarity. Even I don't think so. The questioning is more a work of research, I think.
Okay, so
Mr.
And you have to
thing,
Sorry.
okay.
Thank
Yeah,
you
sorry.
all.
Thank you too.
Sorry.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye.
So I agree with that. Clarity in contemporary art is not 100% necessary if you have the complicity. But where is the complicity? Tell me. Either you don't, you either have clarity or complicity. You have either of, it's okay to have one. But if you don't have clarity or complicity, it's a problem, no? Love, Greg, I'm asking you.
If you have clarity of your content, of complexity, you mean?
Yeah, so you either have clarity, like a pop song, you know, baby, 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 hey.
Yeah.
Sorry. Or you have complicity, like a PhD thesis.
Yeah, complicity is
Complexity.
Complicated.
Complexity. Yeah, it has to be complex in contemporary art.
Yeah, so where is that?
Where is it? It's quite cool for me because you don't really know what it is about. There's there's the absurdity of it.
Yeah, but this needs to be shown. You know what I mean? It needs to be a self-contained.
But it's just 5 minutes of maybe we need more time.
No.
Yes.
That's my question. Is that if the goal is not show a catchy, simple Jeff Koons style flashy balloon dog, then it is to show the complexity. I don't know how to write it. Complexity. Yeah, complexity. So then you need to show the complexity. Either the proof of work of the process, how you, okay, for example, I'm writing my thesis in the last month. I've produced 65,000 words. But for every thesis, you need to write a chapter called methodology. If you don't write that, they don't give you the title. I know what is my methodology, but I need to write it to explain to people what is my method in analyzing my material, the process of collecting my material. So the whole methodology is, well, it can be academic, it can be non-academic, but there can be a material explaining the process and showcasing the complexity so that you have a proof of work and you can justify it to the more educated, complicated, elite people. Or you make it so simple, like a pop song, and explain it to the normal people, right? It has to be one of the either.
It definitely has to be one of the either, and I'm definitely more research on contemporary art and the intellectual world. I am unfortunately belong to that world. I'm super aware of that, but I don't want my works exclude things at the end. Like I really, really want every time my mom has some connection with my work, like she's not coming from art, and she gets it. She totally understands, yes. Like she understands why I'm doing what I'm doing. So I don't want to have like very narrow audience and that community. I don't know. It's a discovery, and I'm trying to have as much as authority on because my process is really complex, but it is hard to communicate through that. How my expertise, it's hard to show because it is coming from architectural drawings. Like I don't know how to really prove that, like me working, like I need to share my workflow to understand people, like how much time it requires, because it's like insane precision of letters and everything. But I'm trying to establish my authority, and both in the materializing processes with the textile. I really know a lot about textile and also digital drawing, and that there's a good news. Me and Alessandro will visit a factory in Milan soon. Bernard's controls that he was doing the social
Yes.
sensitivity project, and they
Yes.
start a new residence, and they are planning
Yeah.
to commission me.
It's-
So I will have a meeting with them. So there's a
Okay.
chance that I will work artist residency in a factory. That I will get a worker's salary. That's amazing. My dream job. So I that's also one of the pillars I need to learn and teach myself, this labor and how it
I
can be incorporated in the contemporary arts.
I think it's in the school idea is what they tell you to do is you take all the references of the contemporary artists before and the philosopher before, and you inscribe yourself in that. Like you make an approach of previous artists and previous thinkers, and you make your own. You push the questioning, like in philosophy. You push further the questioning. If you ignore them, you will be ignored in contemporary art, because there's this need to have this foundation of discourse, and in fact, frankly, it's when you have them and then you tell whatever, most of the people, they will say yes, I understand, yeah, I know what you mean, and they know nothing, and but making a work of citation and not appropriation, but reworking the past content, and with a new approach, more contemporary, with maybe the approach of AI, which is something more contemporary, more like with connected more with I don't know if it was a work of a man before, no, with the approach of a woman, or more with because you have different languages, and citation of recent, like people in the 80s or in 2000 doing similar kind of work. It doesn't have to be textile, but in contemporary art, it will back up what you're doing. I think I don't teach you anything about that, but I think you know.
No, I was just thinking if I should justify myself more like material research.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure if I want to read more LNC. Like it then, I read a bit and I act based on what I understand, and I enjoy the practical and tactile aspect of it. But
no, but museum will ask you that.
So normally, imagine if you're presenting an exhibition dossier, or like artist statement, or something more complex, something even with 6 to 10 pages, not 2 pages. You will need a chapter within the dossier, that is methodology, and you need to come up with rigorous ways to explain how you come to from A to B with which method. And normally the method, they are like a menu in McDonald's. So there is the McChicken, there's nugget there. So you cannot normally invent a methodology. Normally cannot. I'm not saying it's impossible, but normally, unless you have postdoc and then 10-year experience, it's very like you don't discover a new star in the sky every single night. You open the eyes with it's not that easy. So they will not recognize it, and it's not easily found. So likely you have to use existing methodology, which is what, right? So you are crossing several things. One is linguistic, one is material, that is textile art, and linguistic and textile art can combine. And when you make it a video work, it didn't combine, so it weakened the video work.
And Christine, she's helping you on that? Or?
Yes, definitely. Like I'm trying to narrow down, but not to the point that I lose my interest. Like I still want to keep my interest, but I understand like that's language and embroidery and architectural background is already crowded. And why the video work? First of all, like in my lunch break, I cannot do my textile work. I need to work on something digital, and that's other ways of channels. And it's also I'm trying to world building. If I can find a way to translate that scripts also textile, like I need to maybe explain better why these two methodologies needs each other. And like why they are not opposing. But I know if I do just textile and languages, it would be like better perceived. But then you can do what only you can do in the material conditions.
But yeah, if you have any writing and you need the point of view of more on it, you can send us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on what you wanna do. If you want to have museum shows or go into this line of elitist contemporary art approach, then you need to kind of not to run to the conclusion yet. This is what I want to do, but to go one step back and see where I started, how I get here, to document everything, to find the methodology, and then to see where you want to go is kind of not running before you learn how to work, if that is what you, because you already worked, but that before you want, okay, like let's run to the goal to do this and that, it's better to consolidate what you have done with a nice model, with a nice methodology, so you can have all the theoretical support, the theoretical framework, which is really not my thing, actually. I learned how to do it. I'm not native. I don't like it. I'm opposed to it because my language and my culture did not have even the idea of, until I graduate China with 2 undergraduate degrees, I didn't have, once people ask me, what is your hypothesis? Because what you think is irrelevant. You follow the system, they give you the goal, you tick the box, you graduate. It's not about how you think and you want and what you imagine. But in Europe, it's totally different. So it's more creative and more free, but also it's dangerous because everybody has ideas, right? And opinions and wishes and dreams, and how to make it relevant for other people, either through activism or through material science or through aesthetics or any other channel that you can connect with the viewers.
I agree.
It's a lot. And I was asking you, I wanted to ask you, Esra, about this woman, Helen, from the website. I was thinking to contact her to have some help on because she's selling a book. So she's of lower authority than us in art. But she has a book, she has a product, and she knows a lot of textile artists. So I was thinking to contact her to tell her, what's your point of view? Do you want to add some artists in our article, and then we cite you on the article? Are you against that, or you? What do you think?
Let's contact.
Yeah, I think she's. I think that would be really useful because she's expert in that field.
Okay, I will send you the book. I plan, if we make a connection with her, I plan to take it, but I found it in some ways. So I will send you the book in digital version.
Okay, that would be great.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Later, Greg, you tell me about what the artists.
It's textile curator.
Yeah.
She has a book, 40 pounds.
Yeah. .com. I saw textile curator. Yeah.
Okay, now I have to leave.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for everything.
Yeah, and good luck.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.